For you to move from being a male to a male to a man is a process. There's a process involved. And the first step in this process is you getting back your identity from your mother. And this is the hardest thing for men to do. Because men cannot even be able to face their mother. They are actually afraid or scared of their mothers. Men, we know this. Most men cannot face their mothers and tell their mothers, hey, no to this bullshit. This is the reason why you will see mothers coming into urban setups, settling with the man, and then becomes chaotic in the marriage. Now they are competing for even the front seat in the car. Now they're competing for all these things. And they are even competing for who knows how to cook best. For the son. And this man is there so weak with a pot belly. He's the chairman, but he cannot handle this situation. So he's so dominated, and because he still has the identity of the mother, he blames every other thing around him but himself. So anytime you find yourself arguing so much with women, you find yourself getting angry because anger is the nature of evil. So for you to get that evil and emotions out of you before even you fix your kitchen, you must learn the ability or the power of forgiveness. By this I mean, you must start by telling your mother, standing out to your mother and telling her, hey, excuse me, it has been enough. You've raised me to this guy who I am right now, an adult, and I want to forgive you, and I want you also to forgive me for resenting you. Because when she gives you her identity as she's raising you, you start to resent her. You start to resent her. And when you resent her, anything that you resent, you become. Whatever you resent, you become. Because if you start resenting something, you've handed over your power to them. When you hand over your power to me, I can easily use that power to control you. So that's where anger is coming from. And that's why you'll see all men being so chaotic. Men just having the need to get validation from external environment. So when you have that need to be validated by the external environment, it means from within you, you don't even have an identity. You're so inadequate from within. And this is where these things start from. So you might think that these issues of erectile dysfunction, these issues of chaos in marriages are actually just coming from you maybe picking the wrong woman. You did not pick the wrong woman. You attracted who you were. So all these things are actually hailing from a spiritual perspective before they even come to the physical perspective. Remember, health has three perspectives. One is the spiritual one, which is the major one. Before you fix anything, you have to fix the internal. And then next is the mental, because the spiritual controls the mental. And then now the physical follows the two. So when you're busy trying to fix the physical, when your mental and your spiritual is just messed up, you're wasting time. It is the same thing, you trying to paint your car with a new color so that it looks attractive, but it has a very old engine. So on the road, everybody will know, this car has problems. So when you start to resent your mother, you take her identity. When you have that identity, this is where depression is coming from. Because you see, as a man, if you have an identity of a woman, you're so chaotic, you have high estrogen levels. You are so emotional, and then you cannot take up the roles of a man. So you'll not be a provider, you'll not be a protector, and there is no leadership in you because women naturally are born to follow. Men are born to lead, and that's why a woman asks you all those questions because she thinks that you have the answers, and of course you need the answers because she relies on you for the answers. And now she asks you one question and you get so mad. You're trying to run away from that question. You think that question will go away. It will not go away. It will just change the form and come back. Until you get to answer it, it will never go away. That's their nature. And the nature of a man is to provide for this woman as though she is your child, exclusively. And this begs for the question, men, when a woman is providing for you, how do you get sleep? How do you end up having sleep? Unalala aje? How do you end up getting sleep when a woman is providing for you exclusively? So you're actually adapting multiple identities as you grow up. And the most important identity is the one that you're adapting from your mother. So you have to take back that identity because when that identity comes in you, it comes with emotions, it comes with chaos, because the role of a man is also to fix the chaos that are coming with women. So imagine a man with an identity of a woman, with all this chaos. And now what will happen is, from within, you are attracting people who have a feminine energy because you have a feminine identity. Your identity was suppressed. And listen to this. This is where I get into the pastor mode. God does not talk or speak to people because God does not have a voice. His voice is a voiceless voice. Like, for example, have you ever taken some keys or a phone in your hand, then you forget you had the phone in your hand and you start looking for that phone. And then some voice comes in you and tells you, hey, look at your hand. Then you get the hand and you find the phone. That voiceless voice is the same voice that God talks to people through. But God cannot communicate to somebody who has no identity. So you must have an identity for him to actually talk to you. That basically means he will actually, how he talks to you is to reveal things through your own identity. So when your pastor is busy saying, God spoke to me, feminine or masculine voice, God does not speak to human beings. God reveals things to human beings through identities. So if you have a self-identity, now God will get emotions and chaos out of you, the anger and rage, because anger is the nature of evil. He gets it out of you. And then he fills you with love. And then now you can be able to love women around you and your children. And then when you love them, they respect and submit to you because now you're an adequate provider. You understand the hierarchy and the nature of God and the order of God. Once you understand that order, you will know you don't need to push a woman to go to work to come back and provide for you and share bills. That is where issues are coming from. That's where disrespect is coming from. But you'll never understand this because you think if I tell you to tell your mother, hey, I want you to forgive me for resenting you, you're thinking, no, I don't resent my mother. No, I don't. But you end up attracting women who are just as chaotic as your mother. But you don't know why that is happening. And now you continuously blame them. You continuously blame these women. But you see, you can have 5 women. 5 women, all of them, you've had 5 marriages divorced. But the constant factor in this marriage or in this relationship is you. K is constant and K is you as the man. So why are you blaming different women when the constant factor is not the women, it's you? This is where you have to take responsibility. And responsibility is taken when your testosterone level starts to rise. Now, when your testosterone level starts to go down, start to understand that that's where all these issues of infertility are coming in. That's when you start moving from being the man headed towards the male. So you're actually going backwards. And these are things that we need to teach these men so that we prevent this chaos. All the chaos that you are seeing all over is because of men becoming so weak. Men becoming so weak, thinking that women are the problem. But you see, women adapt to a man. And you attract who you are. So the energy that you have, that's why I told you, when I started my weight loss program or my weight loss journey, I started alone. I fixed myself. I lost the weight. And then through that, I ended up attracting people who had the same vision. And now it becomes easier because everybody who comes in my cycle has to be lean, has to understand fasting, has to be somebody who exercises, has to be somebody who actually advocates for the principles of health and wellness sport. Not just somebody who comes in like, I share this. No. You have to be disciplined, consistent, and patient because nothing comes with a snap. So immediately you get that attention, that identity of you. You get your own identity. Now God reveals to you things. So now everything you do, fear will be gone. Everything you do, there will be no anger and emotions. You will not get upset because somebody told you you are looking like a monkey. Because when you are full or when you're adequate from within, you have an identity. You don't care about the external validation. You don't get upset. Why would you get upset? And I tell people when you get upset, it's not about somebody who said something about you. It's about you having an inadequacy that you don't want to accept and fix. So nobody has the ability to upset you. The reason why you're being upset is because you're suffering from identity crisis. And I told this is one of the symptoms of the modern man. And this has to be the top of the list of the modern man. So I had to clear that out. Now, I hope men in the building are listening to this, and I hope women, you can do this to tell your men, to start teaching your men the power of forgiveness. Because it's not easy. It's not easy. You can try every weight loss program. You can try every program to drop the addiction. You go into a rehab center where the government has made sure that all of you will be in one center. Crazy people in one center trying to manage craziness. Hello? Rehabs. All the crazy people in the world being in one center to try and So you're trying to fight drug addiction or alcohol addiction, and then you're put in a center where you have other addicts. Instead of them taking you from the environment that has addicts and putting you in an environment that has people who have different visions, they put you in an environment with other addicts, and then they load you with methadone. They load you with nicotine patches, the same drugs. Yes, I know how the process has to be followed. But why are they putting you in a place where you have the same identities? So that you feel comfortable in that space? Because misery loves company, so that when you see other drunkards, you're like, oh, I'm a better drunkard than this one. So yes, I'm better. It's like being clever in a class of fools. Ulikuwa number one, darasa ya wajinga. So everybody is stupid here, but you're celebrating. I became the brightest fool. No, my friend. So they put you in a center where your energy is the same. And now you accept that identity. You're depressed. Okay, so now we take you for a rehab for depression. Now all of you are depressed here. Somebody is sitting in another corner. Another one is here trying to undress. Another one is there trying to do something else. And now you're looking around, you're wondering, why am I even here? And then 6 months down the line, you come out of a rehab center. You are so obese because of the side effects of the drugs that you're given in a rehab center. And then you relapse. And you're busy, your parents are busy thinking, this could be the genes. Just because the uncle is a drunkard, this could be hey, this is the devil trying to attack our family. It's not the devil, it's you people having zero identities, not understanding the power of forgiveness. So now you've just passed that fake identity to your children. And now they're suffering from identity crisis. And anytime they're trying to fight anything, it's not going away because they are so stuck in the rectum of your identity. So mothers, please start teaching your children early about forgiveness. You're the ones who take children to church. Every Sunday, you're holding your children to church. You're teaching them something you don't know. You're teaching them about God, but you don't know God. You don't know God. Most of you, how many of you, and I'll ask this question, how many of you know God versus how many of you know about God? How many? How many of us know God? And how many of us know about God? I know when I ask that question, everybody tells me, I know God. Then I ask you, do you ever get angry? They're like, are you asking, they start running away. Are you asking of if I have anger issues? I did not ask you if you have anger issues. I asked you, do you get angry? Do you ever shout at your children? Do you ever overpunish your children because of the emotions that you're harboring inside? That is actually you imposing your identity on them. And when you impose your identity on them, they are unable to move because anything they are doing, they are actually afraid of you. And you see, fear is the nature of evil. They are afraid of you, so they have to do things that will actually please you. Even in their adulthood. So most women are so angry. They are walking so out here, very angry, just waiting for somebody to poke them so that they can erupt. But ask them if they get angry. They're like, I don't have anger issues. No, mommy, the question is, do you get angry? Just yes or no. If you get angry, you don't know nothing about God. You know about him because you've heard about him, you've read about him, you're actually thinking he's a human being. No. Most of you know about God and you want to teach your children God, but you don't know God, you know about him. So you're actually regurgitating. And this is the same thing that is happening even in the medical syllabus. We just regurgitate what we've been taught. Regurgitate. We are even afraid to ask the questions. And that's why most of you keep asking me, are you not afraid of the big pharma? I'm like, listen, I knew God before I knew medicine. Okay? So yes. So once you do that, once you impose your identity on them, they're unable to do anything. They become like you because they resent you. And when they become like you, they attract you. So when they're trying to run away from you every time because they're resenting you, they end up attracting people who are like you in their lives. Now, problems after problems. And guess what? Instead of them taking responsibility, they'll keep on blaming other people. So yes, I thought that should be cleared so that we get to understand that the spiritual world is actually very important when you're trying to fix spiritual things. Look at men getting masturbation addiction every single day. And look at the same men trying to put up research on the internet to talk about the benefits of masturbation. Look at how men have become so weak that they are thinking that a vasectomy is enough. Just a vasectomy is enough to actually handle their sexual urges. So a man thinks, I have to ejaculate anyway. So while the only way that I have to do this thing is to get a vasectomy. Look at men pushing their women into hormonal contraceptives because they cannot hold their sexual desires.